is you're not going to win. You might temporarily win, but the Second Amendment is the Second Amendment of the Bill of Rights of the U.S. Constitution. And you need a presidential declaration of emergency, more than the one that he's done to stop that. I mean, like nationwide martial law. And it's apparently about week 3 of much of the American media discovering federalism. This is exactly what was done in 1918, by the way. The President, Woodrow Wilson, did not drop the hammer on the United States. First of all, he was in bed because he had a stroke, and his wife was the de facto president. But there was no CDC. 1918 was part of the reason eventually there was a CDC, but there was no nationwide coordination for a couple of reasons. But number one was because down there at the lower levels, at the county and state level, they knew better what was going on. And there were entire places in the United States where the influenza A of 1918, incorrectly called the Spanish flu, didn't touch. Now, overall, everywhere had death and had sickness, but there were places, just like right now, Wyoming. I don't believe Wyoming has had a death yet. I'm not sure. South Dakota, North Dakota, they have cases, but I don't believe any deaths. But just like in 1918, because of the sparseness of the population, the paucity of people, they didn't have the infection rate of, I don't know, a dense urban area like New York. And I'm sorry, you can sit there, you can agitate all about Trump, but believe me, the President of the United States during a pandemic is not the emergency mayor of New York. He is not. The mayor of New York is supposed to be the mayor of New York. Yes, the guy who said at Chinese New Year, everyone come on down and have fun, and made fun of it and is being hit hard. So this is called federalism. And I'll tell you who's not complaining about that is Gavin Newsom. Through a couple coincidences, he's done very well as governor. One of the big coincidences is that he does have strong county leadership in this state. And you're here, by the way, the infection rate in LA County, we far and above lead the rest of the state. And if LA County was its own state, I think we would be the 4th fatal state alone. San Francisco County Mayor London Breed up there, she allowed the homeless to just stay in place. And then, there's the statewide shelter in-house order. So she allowed the homeless to stay in place. So there has not been some explosion. Now they're trying to suddenly move the homeless into hotels or whatever. You heard Gavin Newsom talking about the motels, Operation Keep Motel 6 from bankruptcy. That's what they should call it. Call it Operation Room Key.
You going to want to stay there later?
No. They call it Operation Heroin Shed, or Shoot Shack or whatever. So Motel 6, looking at their options where nobody is traveling, they took this government contract because one is more than zero. If you're making money, you're making money. And so there's that happening. But here in L.A. County, the homeless in the city of L.A., Garcetti's moving them into the rec centers. That's been going on for about 3 weeks. And guess what? Guess what's a lagging indicator? Yes, symptoms. So it's been 2 weeks or so since a large mass of homeless have been moving into your rec centers from Van Nuys to wherever, and now they're symptomatic, and there will be more. Today we had was today a record death day in California 81, or LA County?
81. No, I think it was like 85 in all of California, and 81 of them were in LA County.
Just in LA County.
Yeah.
So it's on. Again, death is a lagging indicator as well. So if you couldn't see this coming, then maybe you didn't listen to my January 25th broadcast with the fictional CDC year 2021 final report on the coronavirus outbreak in California. And if you didn't, you know what? We're going to replay it in the third hour because it's been 3 months now. And I made a week after I did it, a bunch of people said, hey, replay that. Because I guess iHeartRadio is too hard to manipulate. So I don't know. And I made a big mistake about something very radio. I won't get into it. But I just wanted to assure anyone listening who happens to be in management here at KFI, that mistake has been overcome, and so we're going to play a clean version of it in the third hour. And the Duke of Sports, if it's if it's anyone's fault, it's the Duke of Sports' fault. But no, we discussed it. I did, as you said, I did it from the correct raw files, cut it up, so there shouldn't be a problem.
No, we're set to go.
Yeah, my word on it. I'm a man of my word. I had to see that the other night. What is that? Dark Knight Rises, right? Or The Dark Knight. That's the Heath Ledger Joker. It's The Dark Knight. Dark Knight. Batman Rises was the first Christian Bale one. Dark Knight Rises was the second one, which is, as far as I'm concerned, of the entire canon of Batman, the one with Heath Ledger is the home run.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah. It is because of him. And Christopher Nolan. They should have stopped making Batmans when Christopher Nolan stopped making the Batmans. But it was great. I don't mind the third one with Bane. I can kind of take it or leave it. It kind of drags. But the one with the Joker just has so many classic scenes. So it's a tangent night. When we come back, I'm going to tell you one big difference. The one reason people are very agitated in the year 2020, and we're not in the fall of 1918, there's one big difference. Some would say mistake, but I'll tell you what that is. When we come back, it is the Dark Secret Place, and a NATO Navy has been kneecapped by the COVIDs. COVIDs have crippled a major NATO Navy. I'll tell you about that and more stuff when we come back. It is the Dark Secret Place. Bryan Suits here, streaming at Unsheep Yourself, at Dark Secret Place in the Twitter machine, streaming at Unsheep Yourself. So join us, won't you please? And I have it running here, and I can answer questions in between peeing during the commercial breaks, like